Well, Ron Brown is getting ready to move into retirement after almost 30 years here at Newswatch 12, and we are taking the time to look back at some of his stories. And of course, anybody who's been here for any length of time remember the big Hull Mountain fire, and certainly Newswatch 12 and you specifically covered a lot of stories during that fire.
The fire happened in the summer of '94, and it was huge for the Rogue Valley. We called it, after it was all over, we called it the Summer of Fire and produced a half-hour special. And this was the story, my contribution to that half-hour special, and it was a real eye-opener as to how that fire really grew and progressed. From the early days of mountaintop tents to glass-enclosed lookouts, manned stations continue to be the early warning system used by most state and federal forest agencies. Dutchman Peak Lookout near Ashland overlooks several national forests in 2 states. From 7,400 feet, Lillian Dila says you can see just about everything.
It's too busy and you see too much. The view from this mountain is super. It's not very good today.
Fire lookout stations like Dutchman's Peak are the early eyes and ear warnings of the Forest Service and state forestry. Without them, fire crews wouldn't have nearly the chance of getting a fire put out as they do now. Where lookouts cannot see, airplanes often can. Chuck Miller is a fire spotter who says manned lookouts and airplanes help foresters cover all the bases when they're looking for trouble.
We have so many people living out in the woods. If we just depended on the airplane, we might have a lot more bigger fires. For the simple reason that unless we've got those eyes up there always looking, the fire is liable to get pretty big before somebody reports it.
In Medford, Ron Brown on the Newswatch. Well, you know, we think of lookouts as these mountaintop things. We use a lot of aerial spotters now in airplanes, and so this was a chance to tell folks about all the people that are involved in that. Lady at Dutchman Peak Lookout was just a classic. She made brownies for people who came up to visit the lookout and stuff, and so I learned a lot just from doing that story as well.
Well, for more information on Ron's stories that not only he learned about, but also helped educate our community on, you can head to our website, look under features for Ron Brown's Best, and join us again tomorrow night for another look at one of his most impactful stories.